Hello and welcome to another episode of the Elevate Show. I am your host Wikali, and every single Wednesday 9:30 p.m. we're here to elevate your life. And kama kawaida, I am not here alone. The man of the hour, the man who brings sense into our Confuciusness is here, Mr. Benjamin Zulu. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Wikali. Thank you so much, and glad to be here.
Yeah, happy to see you here. Are you ready?
I am ready. I can see you ready.
I am ready.
Yes.
I am ready. The conversation today, when I think about it, it takes us straight into your office. This is your everyday. Because I was talking to somebody else before the show began.
Yep.
And they said they were just printing out some documents that I was putting together for the show.
Yeah.
And they said, "Women Zulu, you have touched a nerve." And I asked, "What do you mean?" "You have known that love is where the problem is for all of us."
That is so true.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we are discussing love, because we tend to maintain our careers longer than we maintain our love lives.
Ha.
We tend to stick with our careers. We rise early to attend to it. We study books. We go for professional career development. Continuous, and you have points for continuous professional development. We attach our careers to our survival and our well-being. But when it comes to love, we don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
In fact, if true love and marriage is like a 5-course meal or a settled meal that gives you nutrients, we don't want meals. We prefer mutura, sausage, something on the bite here. So we want relationship, not a meal. And when it comes to love life, relationship is not the same as marriage. Relationship is like a ride. Who doesn't want a ride in a Mercedes? Who wouldn't want a ride of life 1 year or so with a lady beautiful like Mwikali?
Ooh.
No commitment. Come in, enjoy. When you have enough,
Get
go
out.
So our love life is sick exactly because of that. Okay. Nobody wants a career that is just 3 months, you are fired here. 4 months, you're fired here. 1 year, you're fired here. We don't want that kind of career life, but love life, that's what we want. So our love is sick because we never take it seriously.
Yeah.
What we take seriously, we treasure. What we don't take seriously, we tear apart to see what's inside. You bring a toy to the child, they enjoy a little, they tear inside, it's gone. Another toy. We take our relationship as toys. We toy with our heart, and we still complain why it's not working. Yeah. So we are hurt by love because we hurt it. We don't take it seriously. If we were to see that love and career, our money life and our love life is what gives us stability. We can pay our bills, and we have somebody having our back at all seasons. Yeah. There's no greater comfort in this life than having that one person. When the world walks away, there's a person you can count on. Whether you are happy or you are sad, you are angry or you are jubilant or you are depressed, there's a person behind you. At every time is the greatest motivator. But nobody preached that to us. We don't define love. We just know infatuation, crush, I feel you, nimekunoki, niaje, nipenangos, nikuvutia waya. Tunaingiza na box. We put women in boxes. We put each other in boxes. We look at the thrill. We don't look at the journey, the long term. And so you find we take 4 years or 5 years to prepare for career. Just in the university, just in college, training. How many years to prepare for love? Nothing. 17 years old, I have a boyfriend. 15 years, I have a boyfriend. 23, imagine my Charlie, imagine my girlfriend. This lady, you cannot trust a lawyer who says, I have never trained as a lawyer, but I love law so much. Let me represent your case. No, you get into an airplane, they tell you, the guy who is flying this aircraft has never trained, but he loves it. He has fallen in love with the aircraft.
No.
So don't worry. You can't trust a pilot for having fallen in love with the aircraft, but you're trusting a character who has no preparation to build life. They just fell in love with you. You can't let a person who is not prepared and trained to carry you, but you're placing your heart, your time, your DNA, your feelings, your reputation in another character for just falling in love. Falling. That's why our love life is stressful. We don't value preparation and qualification and information and packaging and long term. Even upgrading it. We don't think that way.
No, we don't. When we get, so we go to school, and I had you guys clap, and you did a ooh-wee at some point, and I am with you. I am with you for sure. Because, like you said, we go to school. I went to school for this, right? And even after you get to school, you want to do certifications here and there, because if you don't do the certifications, you will not get a promotion.
And the times are changing.
The times are changing.
There's AI,
Yes.
there's COVID, post-COVID, careers changed.
Yes.
Post-AI, careers.
Yes.
Mikali is here saying, how can I use AI? She's Googling funny things. AI, how can I apply AI in my journalistic career?
And it's true.
How has COVID affected the media world?
Yes.
She's there learning. When are you learning how COVID has affected your love life? How AI has affected your relationship? We take each other for granted. Now you're not even calling me, so you're busy. I can also, by the way, don't underestimate my ability to forget you and cut you off. I forget people. I have a talent in blocking, my friend. We take pride in ending things.
Yes.
I'm glad today we are talking about those who have retained,
Absolutely.
journeyed, and we want to talk about how can we make it last, just like we value our money life, career life, and also when we become a parent, we never want to imagine parting ways with your child. So parenting and our careers, we tend to want them to be stable, long-term. To, you know, when you're a conscious parent, you want to pour the whole thing you know to your child and help them prosper. What if you took your love life like a baby like that?
Yeah.
What if you took a relationship, your marriage, like the way you're taking your career and your child like that? It would flourish. Love is giving us the same nonsense we are giving it.
Yeah. We. Yeah. Ukweli ama si ukweli? Ukweli, si ndio? Tuko tayari. And I'm happy that we've painted a picture of what it actually looks like and the things that we are doing. Knowingly confused, we're doing something. But today, I love that we're talking about love that lasts. And we have this famous hashtag. Hashtag the one he kept for me. Wasichana away. The one he kept for me. It's a very famous hashtag. It's 1 year of knowing this person. It's 2 years of knowing this person. But the one you kept for me. But today's story, today's guest, that hashtag makes sense. It makes sense. How many of you are married in this congregation today? Let me see. How many people are married? Aha. How many people are mbona Zulu jainua mkono?
I would lift all of them. I'm just sparing you.
And how many people are in a relationship? Let me see. Married, still married and in a relationship. I'm just married.
Situationship. Oh, sorry.
Let me see. How many people are married? Good. How many people are in a relationship? Ooh, quite a number. Situationship. Tuko na watu wa hiyo kipengele. I see one hand over there. So, single. Single and searching. Single and not searching. Single and not searching. I like it. Single and not searching.
Very clear.
Very clear. Very, very clear. Thank you so much for showing us that, because today we are going to get into the shoes, walk the journey, and understand what 51 years mean. Half a century, Zulu.
Imagine.
Half a century with some. Have you met people? Do you know anyone?
Yes, and one thing I can't wait to ask them is whether they have been married for 51 years or happily married.
Happily.
For 51 years. So sometimes we stay married because it's more expensive to get out. So I'm glad that by the point that they are happy to share their story, I'm already suspecting something they are happy about.
Yes.
Longevity with your career or with your parenting journey. Let's just take the career, for example. How you have journeyed with it. You're also saying how you have enjoyed, how it has transformed your life.
Yeah.
It's not a prison. So we're talking about longevity and alignment. And
yes.
we all know that for you to stay long in a career and also be aligned, you're flexible.
Yeah.
You reach a point you don't want to stay on this part of the role so much, you switch to this role.
Yes.
You start at air hostess, after you've flown enough, you say, I'm settling down in marriage, can you settle me down in a settled job? So you're given a job in the same aviation. I'm just using an example,
yes.
just to tell you, marriage, love will last when you are both committed to it and also flexible. Flexible to adapt to the way the times are going.
Okay.
Your partner changes, you adapt to them to be there with that time. So I'm happy we are discussing longevity, but let's not forget, staying long can still be mean, like some people have been married 30 years and others have been in prison 30 years and they're the same.
Hey! I am happy that today we are not in a prison, because the year is 1973, October tarehe sita is when they started this marriage. Half a century and a year in, they're here today to share their story. Please help me celebrate and welcome Mr. and Mrs. Wambugus. Welcome back to the Elevate Show. Every Wednesday we're here and today's conversation is just beautiful. We're talking about love that lasts. And we have a question for you today. Do you think you can keep the spark in marriage for a long time? I'm gonna pull back and come again one more time. Do you think you can keep the spark in marriage for a long time? Engage us on NTV Kenya Facebook, NTV Kenya, on Instagram, on X, and on TikTok as well, and we will check out your feedback. I introduced to you a couple that has been together from the 6th of October 1973, half a century and a year together, 51 years of marriage. Let's give a round of applause to Michael and Emma. Karibuni sana. They told me Mr. and Mrs. Wambugus is for Huko, not here. They're just over there feeling, you know, Michael and your Emma. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Michael.
All right.
Michael and Emma, it's such a huge honor to have you here with us today. And I know I introduced by the names, but I will let you say it by yourselves so that the audience can get to know you directly, other than what I'm going to say. I'll say a lot of things. Okay. But to answer now, to answer an introduction.
Okay, I am Michael.
And I'm Emma.
And we share a common name, Wambugus.
1973 is the day you said I do to each other.
Yes.
But there was a journey before that.
Yes.
What was that journey? Nani aliona mwingine wapi aje and said hi, and Zulu likes to talk about a constitution that happens before walking down the aisle. I'd like to know, what was that journey and how long was it before walking down the aisle?
We met in 1971. We were both in office, and we met at a wedding of one of our friends. And the church was full, but anytime I turned my face, I could see Michael smiling. And I didn't know him. So I was asking my friend, who was my neighbor, whether he knows this guy.
Was he smiling at you?
Yeah, and he said no. So we continued with the wedding, and we had dinner in one of the hotels in Nairobi. So we went for dinner, and he requested me to dance with him at the dinner time. It was such a good time for me altogether. So we danced and we were talking. Where do you work? Where are you? And by then there were no phone, mobile phones. We used to use the office numbers. So I gave him my office number that night. But towards morning, the place was very cold, and then they had suits. Na tulikuwa na to go to the to harusi. And you know what? He offered me his coat. And I took it, and I've never seen such a kind man before, and that's where we started off.
Michael.
Yes.
This smile there. How did you, where was it directed? Just to her? I mean, were you smiling in the general direction of?
No. Sincerely and honestly, I must tell you that when we got into that wedding, I caught her eye. I was doing camera work. I had a camera, and so I was taking photographs. So I wondered, I wanted to know this lady more than just sitting there. And so I kept on smiling with the hope that she'll come and find out why I was doing that. And true to it, she came to find out why. And that was the beginning of our relationship. But one thing that is interesting in me is that before I started courting and looking for a girl to marry, I had whom I want to marry and where that person works. I had eliminated nurse, I had eliminated secretary, I was left with teacher and you. So, when I met this beautiful lady and he told me she's a secretary,
Where?
then I asked another question. Who is your boss? He told me I work in a school and my boss is a lady. Kwisha. The boss is a lady? That is okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Zulu, I know kawaida, I do the conversations and then you come in later, but I feel like
I'm burning with a few things.
Yes, I know.
Did you notice Mwikali said they married on 6th of October? On a day. Not over 10 years.
No.
Nowadays we don't marry on a day. We start living together, get a child, and niende kwenu ambia wazazi
Hata tujue anniversary ni ya lini.
You know, the one thing these people are telling us what made them last. So far we have peaked. They married on a day, and it was 1970. Back then, before you were born, and perhaps even your parent.
That is true.
The second thing, Michael says he had a criteria for what he was looking for. This was not a blind crush.
No.
He had a criteria, and he had alienated certain careers he was uncomfortable with. But as he's already introducing a plot twist, that love can also edit the criteria a little bit.
That is true.
So far, I'm liking the intentionality. Also, did you mark that they met out here in the world?
Yes.
Today, we are crazy about to leave college with someone.
Yeah.
Today, we are very impatient to make sure you come out with the 2 degrees. And these people are already in the world and working, and they're meeting when they're grown-ups, and you can see the world.
Yeah.
Those two I have picked, and I think also the fact that they align. Many of you keep asking me, can I marry a person who don't share faith? What if we don't go to the same religion? Is it okay? Love, trust. Would they have prayed together if they don't share religion? And do you think you can change what I believe about prayer? Is that something you can coach me about? So why are we meeting in the bedroom, then coming to discuss boardroom when you have already been hypnotized by the bedroom experience? By the way, which church do you go to? Do you believe in God? Which religion? Me, I believe. What about this? He did not start back saying, let me sample you out.
Yeah.
No.
He had some criteria. So far, I'm liking the build-up.
I love it.
Yes.
I llove it. And so now we start dating. It's not the way it is now, where we are on phone calls at night. Zulu does not like those ones. Hizo simu za usiku salu umenyorosha sauti kutu hello hello. No. Lazima tuongee
Ati niko kwa kitanda kuna nafasi yako njoo tulale. Let me see a photo. Nisonge.
Zulu is against those ones. But I'd like to know, what was it like dating, you know, building a constitution, knowing that I want to marry you and I am walking this journey with just you, not with 55 others. How was that?
It was quite tricky in that here we are, the only contact you have
Ni ya ofisi.
ni ya ofisi. Ukishatoka ofisi, huwezi kuget in touch. You can't. So I used to make sure that Friday nampigia simu, namuuliza how is your weekend. But then unfortunately those days we used to work on Saturday.
Yes.
And we used to work up to 12.
Yes.
So namwambia tukutane tukielekea home. We happen to be staying in the same estate in Ruta. So that is how we engaged ourselves in meeting. But first, before going away, I would tell her, nitakupeleka Cameo, au tutapitia casino, tuone zile movies za continuous.
Yeah.
Zilikuwa continuous, lakini unalipa kitu moja tu. You pay only one to enter. Then you see it 5 times.
The same one, ama different?
The same one.
There was a way to keep...
But you see that, what that did, it gave us time to chew corncob.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Yes.
Na tunaongea.
Yeah. And
I like... For me, I was really fearing. I had come from the village, and the whatever we have been told by the parents, the guidance that we have been told by my mother, don't talk to Nairobi men, because they are Mikoras.
Way.
So when I came to Nairobi and I met him, I had some questions.
Ile mikora.
Nairobi. So I was very, very careful to meet and whatever. And I wanted to know him better by far before I make any decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it took a period of what?
It took a period of 3 years.
3 years.
3 years, 71
to 73.
To 73.
Yes.
And
but what I really wanted more is to know his people, where he comes from and know his people. And same, I took him home for my parents to see whether he'll be accepted before I make any decision.
yeah.
That's what we did.
Okay.
So we were given a green light, and that's how we came to get married in 73.
Great. How do you know he's the one? You know, what are those things that probably you saw in Emma and you're like, I know I liked her smile, I liked what she looked like, but the reason I want to walk down the aisle, the reason I want to marry her is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mwikali, before you go to that.
Yes, yes,
Have
yes,
you
yes.
noticed how intentional
Yes.
Emma was?
Oh, yes.
Oh
yes,
my.
Yes, yes,
How
yes,
many
yes.
women think like that today?
I want to know your people.
No, honestly, how many of us, ukiwa na tall, dark, handsome, working guy who is just obsessed with you, can think like Emma?
Ninakwanga tusonge.
She has used this word, this phrase 3 times. I'm a psychologist, and the one that people repeat tells you where they stand.
Okay.
Before I make any decision.
Yeah.
Before I make any decision. Before I make any decision. What are we doing today? All the way from shallow end to deep end in one night. So, Emma was intentional to say,
Yes.
before I make any involvement, before I make any commitment.
Yes.
Nowadays, before we meet, we chat in the box. Tunaanza kuitana wifi, mtu wangu, you know, you are
Yeah,
mine. I
shemeji.
can't
Marafiki wanakuwa
already
shemeji.
talking about children names.
Yeah.
Baby names inbox. so
Yes.
honestly, this has blown my mind that this lady has lived so intentionally from the time she was so young.
That's true.
And she took, I don't know why she took 3 years. That level of analysis, I can't stand it. I respect Michael, but if you keep me waiting for 3 years, please. But that was this is a patient man.
Very patient man.
I am.
Very patient man. So I think to add on to that, just what were those things? So we've decided, and even before you make that decision, there are things that you saw about him that felt uko na nguvu ya kumpeleka nyumbani. I can broadly, boldly say, Mom, there's a gentleman here. What were some of those things for each one of you?
One, Michael is a gentleman and
yeah.
very kind. And Michael is full of surprises. So even the time we were cutting, he used to surprise me so much. And 2, very responsible. Those are the few things that made me choose on him. I had met others, but I had not met somebody like him.
I think something that also is a plus for Emma is her responsibility. She's a very responsible lady. Very. And to make it, you know, those days was a real and uphill task. For you to ask your mother, let me stay with my brother, I can take care of him. He was staying with his brother so that he can take care of, she can take care of him. When I saw that, I saw a lot of responsibility, a lot of concern, and then I asked myself, what about if these people are my children? How will she behave? Yeah, she is going to do marvelous. So that was one criteria that I said, hata ukiwa na brother yako, si tuko sawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, tuko sawa.
Emma, could you have been a firstborn?
No, I'm the fourth born.
Where are you staying with your brother?
And my brother was the last born.
Oh.
So what happened in the village, Mom was taking care of him. And I thought I'd better take him. I took him when he was in class 3, 9 years child. When I started working.
Wow.
And
So Michael saw a mother already.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I married with him. I moved in to Michael with my brother.
No, please don't bring your brother when you get married. So, I want some privacy.
So I saw a very, very kind person and very understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of that growing up. Kama wewe ndio umeponyoka wa kwanza back in the day, you become a mother to the rest. I remember my mother did, being a firstborn, there was a lot of taking care of others back in the day. Right now to jichunge kidogo.
I just want to make a comment.
Yes, please.
And that is what is spoiling relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mnasikiza.
Because you see, back then you are responsible for your brother because your mother is not able. You had to take care of that brother so that you can elevate the brother, elevate the sister. Lakini leo mnakaa keja kwangu utoki unataka madhea kupikie. You know, that is what is eating relationships today. Because you go out there, you meet a lady, she does not cook like your mother. Then that's where the problems start. Yes, but when you become of age, tafadhali jump out. Get yourself a rental, hustle.
Absolutely.
That way you will be responsible and you will be able to build a relationship when you get it.
Mwikali, get alive, sir.
And so 1973, we've gotten in, now we are married.
Yes.
And I was talking to Zulu yesterday, and he was telling me how there's a cycle to things.
Yeah.
And Zulu, maybe you can tell us the cycle.
The stages
yes.
of marriage. And Mwikali, another time when we're discussing the madness of this generation, after we hear the sanity of sober people, there's forming that honeymoon phase once you get married, getting now to actually enjoy the fruit. And then you go to this honeymoon phase. There you are going to unpack the surprise you kept all along for this stage. This generation unpacks everything on the way. So they lack the anticipation to go forward. The way you go tasting so much meat, you get full before you buy any meat. You know, so the forming stage is that excitement. Finally, I got the person I'm excited for. The forming stage is full of energy. It's called honeymoon stage. After forming stage, because now you're operating together, your personalities clash. Your weaknesses start to hit together. And how you boundaries you have in your life, like Emma was moving with her brother, there was a lot of enmeshment, and that you need a bigger house to have privacy when there's another person. So you begin to, how close do we bring our families? That brings storms, differences, conflicts, and strain. When you resolve them well, establish boundaries, understand your person, you move from storming to norming. Now you find your middle, you find your rhythm, you find how you operate. After norming, now you have bigger goals, raising children, building an empire, doing the long term. You go to performing. So there is forming, storming, norming, and performing.
Good. Melan Kitumpia. And the reason I asked you to tell us that is because now they are moving in together. Now we are married. Now we are in here. And we are forming. Because now we are enjoying the love. Legally, in the open. God has rubber stamped to the world, the government. Imeweka muhuri. How was that for you? You know, being in the same space with this man that probably you've been seeing. But sasa tuko hapa asubuhi hadi jioni. So Emma, how was it for you?
We didn't have a problem first because we had talked about it before we got married.
Yes.
So he knew that I have to move with my brother.
Yes.
And he was certain that it would be okay.
Yes.
So from there we moved in, as a couple with my brother now.
Yes.
And we had a single room, a big one. We had a single room divided with curtain. That's where we started. With my brother here, and we continued until we got our firstborn in 74. So we started off now with the family in the same room.
Yes.
75 we got our second one.
Yes.
And by then we were struggling to get our own house. We were both in the office and we were talking about it and looking for houses and whatever where we can be able to fit in. And thank God in 76 we got a house, a bigger house in Buruburu, our own.
Hey, Mashonette.
Yes.
Yes.
So with our relationship and understanding, we got that house as young as we were. And life continued. And here we are with Mike. I don't know where you continue. Well,
I'm looking at you know how
with the children coming.
Yes.
It was tough in the beginning. Because now I have this one, the 74, I have the 75,
Yes.
and I have my brother.
Yes.
And you hear we were both working and we was training now to save money to buy this house.
Yeah.
But God is faithful. We managed because we could sit, agree and disagree. So after 3 years,
Yes.
I started now seeing Michael akitoa shati anaweka kwa bedroom chini, akitoa kiatu anaweka kuda kwa corridor. So we started now the friction.
Yes.
Why do you have to do this and whatever? But something that God has blessed us with is that with those frictions and whatever, we agreed not to argue, not to confront each other in front of the children.
Ah.
We have never done it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Never.
So that saved us more because the children did not know we had problems. We could argue and we could whatever. And we promised that when we have those arguments, we
Yes.
get out of the house.
And then you
Go
go
sit
talk.
somewhere like here.
Yeah.
We
Ala,
shout
twende
high.
tubagiwe pale.
We
Yes.
shout.
Very intentional. As you walk there, you know why we are walking there.
There
You know?
we shout high without anybody around us.
Yes.
And it used to solve our problems because going back, we are smiling. We have at least
Gosh.
agreed on each other.
Yes.
But one time we forgot and we went to Resurrection Garden. We had an issue to talk about and we could not solve it. So we went to the Resurrection Garden to, we forgot the Resurrection Garden is a place of prayer. And we were shouting wherever,
People thinking it's prayer.
wherever we were sitting. We started shouting to each other. And there was a man seated just near and he came slowly, told us, can you please stop shouting? This is a prayer place. It's a place of prayer. That's when we realized that we were shouting.
Yes.
That's all, we solved our problems that way.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why we are able to move on.
Okay.
With
okay.
a lot of understanding, with
Yes.
a lot of forgiving hearts.
Yeah.
We are not angels.
Yeah, that's true.
We are not.
That's true.
So he used to see mistakes on my side. I used to see his.
Yeah.
But we were able to tackle them amicably.
Okay. Okay. Before Zulu, we throw it to you because I can see you're burning. I'd like to know Michael's
Exactly.
experience
Yeah.
as we are adjusting, as we are living together, as you are living these shots. Because the way I picked up from Emma, the forming took about 3 years. It was nicey. And then 3 years
We
in,
were on a honeymoon.
uka breathe, uka exhale,
Ukaland.
uka land. What was going on? What happened there?
Very many things do happen
Yes.
and happened,
Yes.
but because that is a time when your true self comes out.
That's true.
The true self of Emma comes out. Hakujua I can shout when I'm nini. Hakujua naweza kuacha socks pale.
Yeah.
Sasa ndiye ameanza kujua. But kuongea, when we talked together and I saw what I was doing wasn't right.
Yes.
We adjusted. We adjusted and we are able to amicably agree on what to do and what not to do. The do's and don'ts.
Yes. Zulu.
There's something Michael anakanyangia. How do you in the same room, just freshly married,
Yeah.
with only a curtain, and there's another person on the other side, kusoma katiba. Okay, I just wanted to
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. You know, there's nothing you can do. We did not have, sometimes you think you have a choice.
option. Oh,
We did not have an option.
Yeah.
wow.
No. So life had to continue in that single.
So we're just a spoiled generation with options, eh?
That's true.
yeah, we did not have an option.
All right.
Yes.
There was no way of saying, let's take him to home to Msomeshe.
No. Because
Oh.
the mother could not handle. And
Okay.
we knew that.
Okay.
So we said, Liwe, he's here. Tutaendelea.
Tungoje watershed hours.
So, and we continued that.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
Yes, and he too respected us.
Oh.
Very much.
He respected us.
Around what age was he?
He was 9 when I
Now
was
he was
talking.
going to 10 years
Okay,
because he
okay.
had come in when he was 9. Now
That's
he's going
because
to
that's a
10
curious
years.
age, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very curious age.
Yeah, but
And we continued with him until university.
Until
Where is it? We should bring that guy here. He should respect.
And in between, we were joined by the brother-in-law of the same age. So we had 2 people in our house.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then we had moved to Buruburu, so we were okay.
yeah.
So
Do you notice this generation had a sense of responsibility
A lot.
that I think we can only dream of?
A lot.
Wanasema we had no option. Mzazi aniambia hana option na mtoto ni wake.
Saizi, please, as you were creating.
Yes, I was not there. So
And that's, yeah, you know, and that's a reality
I
now.
admire this.
Yes. We've
But
lost it.
We lost, that's true.
We are losing it because the generation today does not want to take responsibility for anybody else. It is myself,
And
I,
and I.
and I. Hiyo. Ufikiri mtu
because
mwingine.
it's not that we were able, we had a lot of money, no. But it was a struggle.
It was.
It was a real struggle
Yeah, but,
to educate them and
Yeah.
to make sure that they are comfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. And now our children coming up,
Yes.
we struggled.
Okay.
But our struggle did not...
Was not in vain.
It was not in vain,
Oh, it wasn't.
clearly.
It wasn't.
The reason you're here today is because all of that, this is a culmination of all of that. The journey that you walked, the sacrifices that you made, the reason we're here and picking your brains so that we can probably jenga maisha yetu a bit better, even
Yeah,
as we walk
yeah,
into
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I said, CV yangu nilituma, pale aja. You celebrated 25 years, you
Yes.
celebrated 50 years.
Yeah.
You're on your 51st year. It's not a bed of roses.
No.
Was there one point that you felt, aiwezi, sitaki, nimechoka, sitaweza, ama nilifanya nini? Was it a mistake? Was there a point where you felt the challenges are probably too much? Ama it was always like, there was always a dance of, it's hard, but we know how to
we
figure
go to
it out.
Resurrection Garden, we shout.
You shout and then we find a way
That
out.
is
That
one
saved
thing.
us.
But there is one thing that is happening today, and well, it is COVID.
Yes.
People are taking work at home.
Yes.
There is one thing I never did when I was working. I
Wow.
never took work home.
Oh,
Wow.
I never took work home. So when I got home, it is family time.
okay.
So, but you are talking about that one time. One day I had a meeting very early in the morning.
Okay.
But as we drove home, we had a little misunderstanding, and it was nil by mouth. So when we got home, quickly nikakunywa kachai, nikakula, I went to bed early. And then on her pillow, I wrote, "Darling, kindly wake me up at 6 a.m. And I put it on the pillow.
Was it because you...
We were not talking.
Oh!
It was nil by mouth.
Where, Emma?
Yeah. So I wrote that and I put it on the
Yes.
pillow. And then I did what? I slept. So Emma wakes up as usual very early, goes to her dressing table, takes a piece of paper and tells me, "Darling, it's now 6 o'clock, kindly wake up." Kawekelea hapo na akateremka. That one, nilisikia wow. But I went downstairs. I went.
How did you
What time
wake
did you wake
up?
up?
Exactly.
No, eventually
Were
I
you
woke
tapped?
up after 6. It was after 6. Nikaenda nikamwambia, "Thank you for what you have done. Hata chai sitakunywa." Because I have a meeting in the morning, nikaenda. But in the course of going to work, we are together. After we dropped our son in school, akaniuliza, "Lakini ni nini tunaulizana? Si ningekuambusha, what would I have lost?" Na mimi nikamwambia, kama ningekuambia, ningepoteza nini uniamshe?
Wow.
Then we saw we were arguing on something that is irrelevant, something we would have sorted, but only that nimesikia nil by mouth na kab nimenyamaza. By the time I was dropping her, tulikuwa tushaanza kuongea.
Mmerudiana.
Tumerudiana.
Round of applause. So that was the one.
That was the one. Nilikuwa nasikia
The woman,
huyu ndio nilioa. Haizi kuniamsha niende job. Yeah, true.
and Michael said nowadays we are into I, me, and myself generation.
Exactly.
And I had one preacher say with a prayer, they reminded me, I is at the center of sin. If you spell sin, it's an I at the center. So we are collapsing because of I. There they said we. Why are we doing this? I love that.
I love it too. I love it too. It's okay. It's okay. I feel like you. I feel like you. I want us to take a very quick break.
Before we break, can I say something?
Can we come back to it?
It is continuous. Eh?
Hi, Sawa.
Yeah, because I want to say this.
Yes.
The one thing that we did not bring in is a third party in our relationship.
Ooh.
If we have a problem, we did not go to our best man, our best
parents,
lady, our parents to solve the problem in the house. When you bring third party, huyu anakuja na vyake, anakuambia wewe kama mama ungefanya hivi, wewe kama mwanaume ungefanya hivi. Hiyo tulikataa.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason I'm excited about that is because Zulu, hiyo inakuanga ameandika kwa cardinal rules.
Thank you for helping me.
So we'll come back to that, and Zulu, I'm sure you will want to chime in on that. But if you're tuned in tonight and you feel you have something to say, ya kuchangia, ya swali, anything, it's NTV Kenya on Facebook, NTV Kenya on Instagram, on X, and on TikTok as well. The hashtag to use is NTV Elevate. And the question we're asking you today is, do you think you can keep this pack in marriage for long? Please, tuambie. We'll be right back after this break.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Elevate. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about a love that lasts, and it's not just any other love. It is 50 plus 1, 50 years, half a century in, plus a year on top. We have Michael and Emma, and they share a name, Wambugus. Hey! Thank you for indulging us. And you said, before we went on a break, you said something really powerful, and I roped in Zulu because I know he cannot speak. Yani, haizi kutuongelesha bila kusema hii jambo moja ya third parties when it comes to dealing with conflict in marriage. Zulu, the floor is yours.
When we fall out and we're in marriage, don't gather your clan. If you call your mother, she'll be biased. If I call my father, she'll be biased. They cannot be neutral. No. So either my dad will side with you a lot, not to appear like he's protecting son, or your mother will side with me a lot and ask you to swallow everything, and you'll be left with resentment. Also, once you update your relatives on what's going on and you get past it, then they don't get past it. They remain there.
Yeah, true.
When you go home next time, they ask you update. Mulifika wapi, aliacha kukufanyia hivyo. What's going on nowadays? Once you open the curtain to your bedroom, there's nowhere to close it. Also, you become the mouthy, the sweet gossip. We thought they are all that happy. Did you hear? My mother and father nowadays, this weekend, they have gone to help me. I used to think they're okay. Nowadays, let me tell you, everybody's falling. It will spread. You just call your father or your uncle, but their families, no. Their friends, no. Hukujua nilikuwa kwa huyo daughter yangu, walikuwa natushida, lakini tumeresolve. So it spreads, and you entertain other people. The other factor he said is, he did not bring work home.
Yes.
COVID made us make our homes to also workstations. So laptop is on the sofa set. The dining is no longer dining anymore. Somebody has all their books and files there. Somebody is on a work phone the whole evening. We don't have demarcation of time. Nowadays, if you're not careful, I gave you the three top marriage breakers.
Yes.
It was money, it was infidelity, and then it was in-laws. Now let me give you the other two.
Yes.
The next two is unhealed emotional, psychological wounds. When you transfer what you suffered home to here, and you keep reacting to things in your past. And the other thing is interference by work. When we take our social hour and we give it to work. If you're not aware, if you do not know, families don't have the whole day to bond. They usually bond just after work and before bed. We usually imagine you have the whole day. You don't.
You don't.
Your whole day is taken by responsibilities, work, school, everything. Actually, when couples talk, most of the day they are talking logistics. Has this one come? Has this one paid? They are talking logistics. The time you can talk bonding is that meal time. You see that just after work, And he said he always came home. So I pick those two as, I think they were pillars that kept the spark alive.
I have learned two more. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And you celebrated your 25th, the Silver Jubilee, the Silver anniversary.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us how you celebrated that. It was quite significant.
Well, it was.
Yes.
It was. It was. Because all our children were grown up then. They were the planners.
Wow.
They planned it.
Wow. Are you going to plan your parents' 25th
anniversary?
Yes.
We celebrated that in our, we were that time in Buruburu, Blessed Sacrament Church.
Yes.
That's where we had our 25th anniversary celebrations.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And the 50th one.
The 50th one.
Yes.
We should hear it from
Before
Emma.
we celebrated 25 years,
Yes.
I told you Michael was a man of surprises.
Yes.
And one time I was very annoyed that he did not even celebrate my 14th February,
Valentine.
the Valentine Day.
Yes.
And he was just there, not even talking, nothing. And I was so annoyed when I came home. I was just wondering, you know, I was seeing people celebrating their office day, flowers, and I went home very annoyed. And then my daughter told me, "Hey, Mom, there is an envelope here that your friend brought." And I wondered, how can my friend bring it? But since we had a Shama, I thought the lady brought what?
Yeah.
The envelope for Shama. But opening, I saw an air ticket taking me to Mauritius. And I said, hey, this one is the best. And I was really very, very happy. I felt so loved. And now, when it come to 25 celebration,
Yes.
our children, as he says, were working, and they told us, now this is ours. So just sit there, buy your clothing if you need, but we are going to organize everything.
Okay.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It was very, very fulfilling.
Yeah.
But there's something that I used to do. When I used to miss Michael in our relationship during our courtship, sorry to go back,
It's okay.
I used to have this song for him. And if those who knows
Which song?
the French language, I will sing with the French language.
Okay.
And it used to say, Gokoririka na mwedwa, koimamora goinegarera, daoso dereria gona, negotukire oi, deroria gogakiali mwedwa, otukone moru, komadhayo mwedwa wakwa, tikweda wakwa. So it goes on and on. I love you because you understand, yeah. Every single thing I try to do, you're always there to lead a helping hand, yeah. But most of all, I love you because you're you. So it continued that way. So at times I used to cry when I'm singing those songs because he was so kind to me. And we had moved on very well with our children. And we thank God we have come that far, the 25.
The highlight today is this man could even plan a trip to Mauritius.
Wow.
I don't know how many men here know where Comoros is. My wife told you about Charlie Island. It's an island women know places.
Yes,
as you
Yeah.
converse, listen to it. There's a bubble or restaurant, something my wife talks about. I'm still researching about it. You should take note what they call romance. Because men, we are so foreign to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine there's a place where you can get in a bubble, you're floating. I'm hearing stories.
Yeah.
There's an island in Kenya called Charlie Island, romantic. Maybe he did not pick Mauritius himself. Is that it was a dear place for her.
We did enjoy it, yes. We did.
I must be correct, Michael.
You are right.
Yes.
That he picked it from her that she would enjoy that.
Exactly, you're right.
Kindness, he's a gentleman, and he's full of.
Surprises.
How can you keep a memory for close to 30 years?
Yeah,
It pays off.
Yeah.
Brothers are bringing only one flower, rose flower. It's okay, those small gifts matter,
Yes.
but the trip to Mauritius is the one she mentioned today.
Yes.
So you keep saying, you know, handkerchief, you know, just from my heart, it's about how much love there is. Then tropical, it's okay, tropical, it's okay. But today she can't recall a tropical of 30 years ago.
No,
There's a
that's
time
true.
to do a trip to Mauritius.
That is true.
Absolutely. And we have the 50th, the Jubilee anniversary.
Yeah.
How was that? Sijui tukae kwako tu Emma.
It was
kaa tu hapo.
Nikae tu hapo.
Wewe kaa.
It was very fulfilling, eh?
Yeah.
When we told our children that we are going to celebrate 50 years, they told us, now we are here for you. So we are the committee, we do everything the same. And it came out very well in our church, Queen of Apostles. And I felt even 50 years, we were looking at each other and wondering, is it 50 years? Because we could not even believe that we have come that far, you know. And coming that far means a lot of sacrifice. You sacrifice for each other, yeah, sacrificing. Because anakuhat, but you just, yeah, resolve it and then talk, and you agree to disagree, and we move on.
Yeah.
That has kept us moving. And
Yeah, man.
Hebu mungoje, ngojeni, hata kama mna wivu.
Tutangoja.
Wapenda na wasengenyane.
yes.
Ema utatuambia.
Michael remembered.
Yes.
Before we celebrated 50 years, I was unwell.
Yes.
And Michael took very good care of me and the children. He forgot we had a house help. He would wake up very early in the morning, prepare what I need, breakfast and whatever, and set it at bedroom. Our bedroom had become a breakfast room.
Yes.
And I really appreciated his love and his concern.
Do you think children can organize the ceremony when you are living a fake life?
No, they have
Because
they have learned.
some parents at home, they are enemies. But when you go to church, you're supposed to clap your hold your hand and pretend that they are in love. And when we are celebrating marriages, you're also supposed to cooperate in the pretense. When you're being forced to pretend that they're okay, can you organize the ceremony? So they have implied that the children knew this is real.
Absolutely.
And they did not even force it or request. Children said, leave it to us. I love that.
Yeah, man.
So it went in very well.
Lakini nataka muulize maswali sasa. Tumefungua floor. We have Michael, Emma, and we have Zulu as well. And we'll start with you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nadia, a model and a content creator. So my first question is, what is the biggest lesson marriage has taught you? And my second is, so what is the secret of keeping love in hizo decades zote? Okay. Thank you.
I may answer and say, marriage works when you appreciate each other the way he or she is. Because if you don't appreciate, nothing, it cannot happen. It cannot move. Yeah. Okay. And that's what we have been doing with Michael. Yeah.
Okay.
Marriage is not a destination. That's one thing you must know. Marriage is a journey.
Yes.
And when you are on a journey, you meet very many things. You could be going through a forest, unakutana na wanyama, you could be going, unakutana na shida, hiyo yote utaenda hivyo. Alafu unajua ile flower ya rose. You know it?
Yes.
Yes, bed of roses. It is not a bed of roses. Because if you want a beautiful red rose, and you go without gloves, utachomwa. Lakini pale juu, it is very beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. We have another question.
Thank you. My name is Agvasu Moses. I have two questions. Okay. And the very first question, my sister Wangare had touched it, but she hasn't brought it out clearly. Okay. The question was about finance management. In the very first stage, that was forming stage, yes. The 3 years. Yes. The finance management, when Mr. Michael brings this is for the budget, this is for the school fees, because they had a child, quote unquote, the child, not the brother. Yeah. The finance management before it came to the storming stage, who was the deciding factor? Who made the final decision? Or were you at the end of, you know, sometimes ladies, they tend to overspend. When you go for window shopping, when you go for the shopping, they shop minus what was on the budget. So in that particular stage,
kuna mkereketwa.
Yeah, hapo sasa. Swala la pili ningependa kuuliza katika Kiswahili. Yes. Wengine wetu nimeona ndugu Michael anaweza sema ana nyota ya ndoa, wengine hawana nyota. Do you believe there is a star, or what made you to have like a restriction? I don't want a nurse, I don't want a teacher. What were you up to setting up those particular
Parameters?
Yes, parameters. Thank you.
Okay.
Ya kwanza ni the financing the first stage. Yes.
Yeah, finance ilikuwa mucho. Yeah, that was mucho between us both. Yeah.
So there
Now-
was transparency.
We
Exact-
didn't have anything, any issue with money because we were educating our brothers and the children came up. We
Yeah.
didn't have any issue.
Yeah.
So he was paying what he's supposed to pay. I was able to take care of the rest.
Kitokea overspending.
We had-
also
we had- we had-
overspending. Always when you are going to the shop, kindly have a list.
List.
Have a list. You don't just go picking. Have a list.
Wanawake mmesikia?
You have a list.
Hiyo ni yenu.
You have a list of what you are going to
To buy.
buy. Okay. Now your second question.
Yes.
When I was employed, I was employed in the Ministry of Health as a Karani. And my work as a Karani, there was something called going around in the offices of big fellows to take a list of the files that are in their offices. Right?
Yes.
So, kiingia kwa ofisi nachukua nini? List naenda kuzunguka kuchukua nini? The things I saw in these offices with the bosses cancelled secretary.
Okay.
Then the following year, I was transferred to Nyeri Provincial Hospital. And while there, one day, the telephone operator took an off. And he told me, Michael, nikikufundisha hii kitu, unaweza kunisimamia tu, nikuweka tu hapa na hapa na hapa. Ile ilikuwa ya kuchukuliwa, unaweka hapa, alafu unafanya hivi na ring huko.
Go kama box.
It was a box actually. You remove the wire, you put it the extension,
Na
alafu
na
unakoroga, inalia huko. So,
okay.
akanipa, akaenda. In my bad manners, one time, Anas alipigiwa simu na mtu, na alikuwa Muhindi. Akaniambia, can I talk to so and so? Akamwambia, give me a minute, ako wadi gani? Akaniambia, nikaweka, alafu nika forward. I became curious. Let me listen. Ile nilisikia ka put off.
Ukajua hapo ni X.
Kasema nas, ikiwa hivi ndio wanafanya X. That's how I eliminated. But when I met her and she told me she's a secretary, there was a qualifying issue. For whom do you work?
Yes.
She told me my boss is a lady.
That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the summary is saying his personal experience. He's not saying to this day secretaries, to this day Nazis.
No, no,
He's
no,
saying
no,
his
no.
journey.
Yeah.
in
That was
those
my
days,
journey in
and the
choosing.
trends and the culture of those days.
Yeah.
And his convictions.
Yeah.
So I think you are allowed to pick the professions you are comfortable with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Usioe lawyer alafu anze kuniita liar. Malawyer nawajua. Ninyi mnadanganya kila siku. Marry a profession you're comfortable with.
Exactly.
Usioe mkali najua nang'ara kwa kamera. Wewe unaona na wanaume kwa kamera. Wewe toka huko. Marry a profession you can trust. I think that's what he's saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And everybody should have their own. You need to have that list. You need to know. And that was our last question because we have run out of time. Your parting shots before we get Zulus and then we close the show. An encouragement, a word of advice, something that worked for you. Siri ya nyota. Sijui nyota. Nyota ulijibiwa nyota.
For me, I would tell our young girls, there is time for everything. Yeah, time for everything.
Yes.
When you met someone, there is time. Know him, get to know him, know what he does. Unajua msichana mwingine aliolewa akiwa anaonyesha pesa nyingi akaoa mwizi.
Mwizi.
Alikuja kugundua akiona pistol in the bedroom just because there is money. Please don't look on money, look on the person you are dating, and they just know what kind of a person he or she is. That would help you a lot. Don't rush, just take your time.
Absolutely.
I took my time with him. We never hatukuwa tunaongea habari ya sex or anything. We never did. For the 3 years, we never did it.
Manasikia?
Munanyamaza?
Yes.
Mbona mjatoa hiyo?
Yes. Today, sex is the first thing for you people to do. Why do you have to do that? Respect yourself, and you'll be respected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Emma.
And for me, my parting shot is this. For men, you have come to school when it is multiple choice. Kila kitu ni multiple choice. When we went to school,
Yes.
there was something called, and especially in geography, unapewa climate ya Australia, unapewa climate ya India, unaambiwa compare and contrast.
Wow.
Compare and contrast. Sasa unachukua climate ya Australia, unaicompare na ya India, unasema ni nini iko nini na makosa. Sasa hivyo ndio wanaume wanafanya leo. Ameoa, alafu anaanza kucompare na contrast. Ako na huyu, anasikia pengine yule. Pengine, when you do that, your marriage is kwisha. Yeah.
If we want to last this long, and Mwikali, I hope we are able to hold our hands of our partners when we are this old and say finally we made it.
Yeah.
And young people are inviting us. These are, some of us are just like their children and grandchildren looking at us saying, Mulimekaje, I'm carrying this message home. If you want to go far, put firm foundations. Storm will come, rains will come, the winds will beat on that house because we are building on sand for the hype. During sunny day, we appear happy, all of us. On a rainy day, only those who are firmly founded will stand. Thank you for making us know that it is possible. Thank you.
And our audience, please clap for yourselves. You have been amazing, you have been engaging, and I know we didn't get all the questions, but thank you so much for keeping it here and keeping it alive. For our viewers at home as well, asanteni sana for tuning in, for engaging with us. We can't wait to hear from you and see you again next week on Wednesday, same time, same place. From me, Wikali, and Benjamin Zulu, adios.